Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am Lou Mangello. You are my friend. Thank you so very much for joining us, hopefully live here tonight. Wednesday is my favorite night of the week, and it's all because of you. If you're watching live, get comfortable, grab a snack, invite a friend. If you're watching on the replay, join us every Wednesday right here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for WDW Radio Live. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about what's new, what's next, some things that we know are coming, maybe some things that are getting us excited beyond just the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival of Fun 2018, which starts literally in a matter of hours. But I'm actually not going there tomorrow. I'm going somewhere else first because it, of course, involves food. I'll also take some of your calls. I want to hear what you guys are excited about in terms of what we know that is coming. We'll also talk about some of the things that have happened over the past few days. I had a busy weekend thanks to a lot of you. I want to first say huge thanks to everybody who came out to, let me get my giant freak head out of the way, everybody who came out to the Indie Disney Meet this past weekend in Noblesville, Indiana. You want to talk about the nicest people on the planet? I don't know what they put in the food and, well, it's delicious, by the way, the food and or the water in Indiana and the surrounding states, because I met folks that drove 8.5 hours just to be there. There was more than 1,500 people in attendance. They raised more than $40,000 for Give Kids the World. Good people doing great things was sort of the theme for me that entire weekend. It was so great to meet and see familiar names and faces, box people, new listeners as well. We had a lot of fun. And then like hours after I left there, I was overwhelmed. I went to Latrobe, Pennsylvania, home of Rolling Rock and Mr. Rogers and something else. And I can't remember what it is. But something else famous came out of Latrobe, again, other than really nice people and phenomenal food. I had a wedge for the first time, a wedge sandwich. They take whatever sort of meat and stuff and they stuff it in, but instead of bread, it's 2 slices of like pizza dough, like with crust. It's amazing. And I had this pot roast dip. Oh my God, it was phenomenal. And then I was afraid like literally nobody was going to show up to, I should have worn my pickled chef shirt, to the pickled chef in Latrobe who opened up just for us on Sunday. I found out the pickled chef himself actually opened up the restaurants at the Swan. We had that in common, and there was probably 70 or 80 of you that drove out. Insane, but humbling. This guy, hugely grateful. We had a lot of fun, a lot of grilled cheese and other cheese-related products. So, again, thanks to all of you who made for a whirlwind, phenomenal, and fun, and oh so very delicious. Arnold Palmer, Jesse McCullough, love that guy. That's it. It's the Arnold Palmer. Donna, it was great to see you. Happy birthday, Scott Otis. A lot of other folks in the box. Rita digging the Avengers shirt. I've been in a superhero kind of mood lately. Eric, nice to see you as well. Alyssa, it was so good to see you at the aforementioned Indie Disney Meet. I wish I could have stayed longer or stayed later, and we could have gone to like get something to eat after I was done. Next time, I promise, I'll stay longer and later, because I hear there's a lot of really good food out there, and we can recap all of our adventures from Alaska. Like, how much fun did we have there? Anyway, it was so nice to see you and catch up with you. Deanna Wicks, I'm pointing to you, like, huge hearts and love and gratitude to you and for you. My experience at St. Vincent's, I could not believe was even better than it was last year. Thank you so much for having me out. You're so kind and so hospitable, and the food was so delicious. I promise next time I come back, I'm staying for longer, and your students there are just wonderful. So you've done an amazing job, and thank you for everything you did for me this past weekend, including but not limited to the pot roast dip. It was life-changing. That's how good it was. And my comfy sweatshirt blanket and the chocolates and all the other little gifts and stuff that you gave me. So thank you very much for all of that. Darlene Nagy from West End, New York. Nice seeing you. Ricky DJ Technoid Reed, my brother, my heart is with you, man. I am thinking of you and praying for you all the time. David Potts, much less. I was almost kind of hoping that I got snowed in this time because there was so much more that that I wanted to eat. So it was a lot of fun. Great weekend, Chris. It was good seeing you as well. The outpouring of love and friendship means more to me than you know. So Amber Bramble, talk about somebody else who so nice, so sweet, volunteering for the Indie Disney Meet, which, by the way, I think you guys need to rename and rebrand as the Midwest Disney Meet because you guys had folks from all over these United States of ours. So it was awesome. Stephanie, nice to see. What is going on with my computer here? Why is it launching iTunes for no particular reason? Scott drove 18 hours to Latrobe, but with the wrong one. Latrobe, Kansas was nice, though. Scott, you missed a good time and really good food and such nice people, too. Amber, good to see you. Linda Lammers, always nice to see you. John C. Jones, good to see you in the box. Lauren Jones catching up from the Lego KSR truck builder. Dude, that was insane. That is insane. So Wayne, Kathleen, Louis, yeah, good to see everybody. I look forward to tonight and Wednesday nights. And oh, by the way, speaking of going live and all that kind of fun stuff, tomorrow I'm going to be live again around food. It's how I get this wonderful Baymax pear shape figure that I have. I'm going to be at Chicken Guy in Disney Springs tomorrow. If you are in the Chicken Guy Disney Springs area, come on out. Don't just be part of the broadcast. Be part of the chicken because the chicken guy himself, Guy Fieri, is going to be out there. Flavortown, US, you know the whole thing. So, Casey Potts, I saw your story on Instagram. Thank you so much, not just for the friendship and being part of the nation, but all the nice things you said on your Instagram story. Hit me up because if I can help you, I heard what you said. And I took that as an incredibly humbling compliment, and I will be happy to try and help you. If maybe coming out to, wait a minute, see if I can, God, I need my glasses so desperately. If you want to maybe come out to Momentum in October, see if that's something that can help you. I don't know if you're local or not, but shoot me a message or things like that. So I appreciate it. Let me see. Melanie Jones, always nice to see you. Andrew, digging the Avengers shirt. Thank you. This is what I got when I went out to the press event out in California, which I just sort of called my Tom Holland weekend because squee. Becky Menken are back from her trips. Wow, why are my logos not up here? Back from her trips around the world. It's so nice to see you again. We've been talking about you for so many weeks. Now we can talk with you now that you're here. So we're going to get – this is about the time of year that Becky and I start getting sick of each other because we've got the e-ticket event. We've got the Adventures by Disney a couple of weeks later, and I have Momentum squeezed right in there. The fall is like my insanity time. I do a lot of speaking in the fall because of school orientations, businesses, conferences, and then some of the Disney stuff going on. And I was actually working today. On the quest for our e-ticket weekend on Saturday, September 22nd. It is currently sold out, but if because I didn't want it to get too big. If you really want to be part of the quest, let me know. I know a guy and can probably do something to squeeze you in. Alyssa Pally, for Meet of the Month when you're down in July. For January, it's always over Marathon Weekend. I'm not sure if you're coming down here to do that crazy running stuff. If not, you can come do the crazy cheering stuff. But I always do a Meet of the Month on a Saturday over Marathon Weekend. So if you're around, let me know. If not, we'll make other arrangements. So Chauncey Friend wants to know anything I can do to impress my family on the Alaska cruise. Yes, take them on the Alaska cruise. That cruise speaks for itself. I mean, are there add-on things you can do to wow them? Is Apollo brunch a nice thing? Absolutely. But I think, and we're going to recap our Alaska cruise. When we do, I would suggest going back and listening to it just in terms of some of the tips we can share. If you have any questions about excursions, things like that, certainly let me know, man. And by the way, if you don't know the name Chauncey Friend, who is a friend, but he is also an FREND. One of the most incredible things I ever experienced from a geek point of view. Years ago, right, Sean? So we got together at Tony's Town Square. You brought out your little iPad or whatever device and showed me some very, very impressive AR before AR sort of became a thing. That hot air balloon virtual reality thing that you set up at the Indie Disney Meet blew my little socks off. Like, I felt like I had the sensation of flying. So I know that at some point there are going to be huge things for you. Just remember the short little fat people when you do, because it's good stuff. And your wife, by the way, is just so nice. Five fangirls podcast. Look it up. Casey, did I announce which park the quest is going to be and trying to see if it matches up with our itinerary? I did not. And there is a reason why. There's a method to my madness, part of which is that I don't want folks going out and studying ahead of time or making up cheat sheets or guides or things like that. I will announce it as we get closer. I promise. Not that you'll be allowed to use any aforementioned cheat sheets and or guides, etc. So, Adam Rosati, can't wait to see everybody at the dessert party in a couple of weeks. I can as well, not just because there's going to be desserts there, but the e-ticket event weekend, brought to you by our friends at Mouse Fan Travel, is going to be so much fun. We have so many cool things planned, from our scavenger hunt to meet to the month to wandering the promenade to illuminations to our Twilight at the Tower event, which, as you know, sold out redonkulously quickly because it's a very, 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 very small event. Melanie, it's not that I don't trust you. I do trust you, but I want to make this as fun as possible. So, Wesley, not sure where I'm going to be November 11th to 16th. I know that I'm traveling at some point to speak somewhere, but if not, man, hit me up. When did you say we're going to the UK? I want to do a private dinner at WB Studios. Did she say WB as in like the WB, like Warner Brothers? Listen, if I go to the UK, I just want to meet and eat and all that. So, speaking of meeting and eating, like Martin Shergold and Emma and all my other friends in the UK, my receipt says Animal Kingdom on Friday. Ignore your receipt. That was a placeholder that I put in there, and it's to throw you off. The scavenger hunt is on Saturday. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're doing Magic Kingdom on Friday, but you'll see. I'm going to I'll send you follow-up instructions. But our sort of touring the parks on Friday is going to be, you might have gotten an early email before I switched it. It's going to be Magic Kingdom on Friday instead of Animal Kingdom. Why, Lou? Because it's Animal Kingdom hot in Animal Kingdom, and we're going to do some classic attractions in Magic Kingdom. So, but I will tell you that I was out in the parks? Who knows? All day working on scavenger hunt stuff. And if you've done the Disneyland quest in the past, give me some hearts or some thumbs up. Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Becky, we need to talk about time. This one might have to be longer. I wrote and am writing hundreds and hundreds of questions. So it's going to make for a long, interesting day. Tacey Atkinson, so good to see you again. I miss you and everybody else in Canada. Fred Abley, good to see you. I know the struggle to get to Melanie. Animal Kingdom is so far away, but it's worth it for Satuli Canteen, a no-wait flight of passage, and Nomad Lounge. And that's about it. I mean, there's a lot of other things there too, but those are definitely my top three. Amanda Bonner from DisneyTravelForAll.com. Animal Kingdom is so far away. And I know you used to laugh at me, but now you're like, I kind of get it. It is far away. What's my favorite food at Disney? The Boathouse. Oh, which, by the way, Valerie says September 10th. Valerie, you are going to love it. Do I remember the D23 scavenger hunt? I do, Scott Otis. Oh, the fun we had. Destination D and D23. We had a good time. It was so hot in California when we did that too. But that was a lot of fun. Julie Dixon, nice to see you. Kyle Lupka from Iowa. I was in Storm Lake, Iowa 2 years ago. I don't know if anybody knows where Storm Lake, Iowa is. Buena Vista University. It's spelled the same way as Buena Vista, but it's Buena Vista. Amanda Bonner, I know we have a call on Monday, and it reminded me of something else I want to run by you as well. Let me just check. Casey says, you got me hooked on Satuli Canteen best hot dog on property. Interesting. So for Satuli, I like the build your own bowl. I think that's the way I roll with the building of the bowl, putting your proteins and the rice and stuff like that in it. Carrie says, my last box night till May. Wait, what? Awana, I don't know what that is starting up next week, and the whole Larson will be at church every Wednesday. I will be catching up on Thursday. Carrie, we will miss you, of course, and I will eat your portion of snacks while you are gone. So what I'm going to order tomorrow when I'm with Guy. So Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York, I'm going to tell you something. I really was impressed. This is no joke. I went in, to be in the interest of full disclosure, I went in expecting very, very pedestrian chicken nuggets like McDonald's, Wendy's, maybe something. They're hand-pounded, big, like, pieces of chicken. I ordered 5. That's a lot. Like 3, and the pickles, and the sides, and the fries, and like 7 different sauces. I'm going down to Flavortown tomorrow. So if you guys are around, come out. I think we start at 11 tomorrow. Guy Fieri's going to be there. He'll be doing whatever he does. Hope I packed that grill for Momentum. Melanie, I need to start concentrating a lot on Momentum. First and foremost, where we're going to be eating and what we're going to be eating. Let's see. Let me catch up here. The Fishbowl, Christine, the Fishbowl, I agree. Hal Kussler, good to see you as well. The Kids Bowl and the Kids Hot Dog wrapped in that pastry. OMG. Jackpot. True. I'm famished. How am I always starving? I almost said where I ate today, and I can't. Because if I tell you where I ate today, it's going to give away the park where the Quest is in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. By the way, New York Football Giant. Are you ready for some football? Thank you, God, for OBJ. Chuck's going to miss the Momentum family. We are going to miss you too, brother. Order chicken tenders with mac and cheese on top and chili. I don't know if they have. Do they have chili at Chicken Guy? I ate so much last time I never even got to the chili. Fred says yes. Momentum equals eat equals smiles equals work equals eat and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Fred Ailey from GetMeCoding.com. If you, or better yet, if your kids want to learn how to code, Fred, I'm going to plug you whether you like it or not. GetMeCoding.com. Mr. Fred, who is a teacher, has a free course and videos and stuff to help get your kids starting to learn how to code. So go check him out over at GetMeCoding.com. So good food in this park and narrows it down. It does. It narrows it down a little bit. I think it narrows it down to the top 3, 4-ish parks. John Maloney, I was hoping you were going to be here tonight. Wait, I have to go. So John Maloney says, hi, Lou. Hi, Maximilian. Wait a minute. So I got so many, and I'm so grateful. I got so many wonderful gifts, which were unnecessary, by the way, this past weekend, both in Noblesville and at the pickled. I was going to call him the pickle guy because we're talking about the chicken guy. Pickle guy, chicken guy. It's all the same thing. One of the coolest things I got, because you know me so well, is John. I didn't know you had an artist in you. Let me do it so you don't see the reflection. So John Maloney drew me Lou's Avengers. That's me with my trivia book, and I think I'm holding hands with Evil Maximilian from where the black hole, and my Infinity Gauntlet is on the side. Although I just noticed I have a really big foot, or it's just a really long. Oh, it's a long sock because I don't fit into the Spider-Man Homecoming costume. But that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. I'm in the process of reorganizing all my photos so you have a spot on the Spider-Man wall. So yeah, man, I dig the Maximilian mashup. Leah Harvey, nice to see you as well. Wait, where is it? I just saw you have Max, you won him at an auction. I want to see a picture of that. Kevin Harrington, I know I owe you an email regarding the aforesaid momentum. I promise I will get that to you ASAP. So, but anyway, so I said tonight I want to do a couple of things, one of which was talk to you guys about some of the things that are here and are coming to the parks. Maybe we'll take a couple of phone calls because I think there's some really interesting stuff. And I'm not going to talk about what I think or what I know is coming and has not been announced as yet. I think we can see the handwriting on the walls for some things that we think are going to be coming soon. One of the things I think that's not getting a lot of discussion right now, because maybe it's not top of mind, but I think there's a reason for it, is enhanced Wi-Fi is starting to get rolled out throughout the resorts first. I believe first. It's starting, for some reason, with Port Orleans French Quarter, maybe because they want to try it on a small scale first and then scale it up. But all the other hotels, all the other Disney resorts are going to get enhanced Wi-Fi in the coming weeks. I think what's going to happen after that rollout, they've been putting up new towers. AT&T has been enhancing their service. I think it's going to be rolled out to the parks. And the reason why I think this is interesting is, one, obviously Disney understands and certainly has been promoting the fact that they want you, the guest, to be sharing your experiences as they are happening real time with other guests. It's been very interesting for me as somebody who's been live broadcasting for 11 years now. And when I used to take my laptop into the park with said webcam and be one of the early adopters to see how now, for better or for worse, when you watch a parade, when you watch a fireworks nighttime spectacular, what you see a lot in front of you is white, grayish lights from the screens in front of you. It's a wonderful thing because we're able to share it with those who can't get there. I think it does, to a certain degree, distract from our personal experience. I think you need to see it with your own eyes, especially if it's the first time you're with your family, however. That being said, I think what is about to happen, and I don't know anything, what I think is about to happen, what I'm 82.7% sure is going to happen is your mobile device is going to be a much more important and integral part to your in-park experience. I don't just mean for fast passes. I don't mean for mobile ordering, which is awesome, by the way. I don't mean for opening up your resort room. I believe that there are enhanced experiences, not just in the attractions, but in the four corners of the parks themselves, as well as the hotels, that are going to require a Wi-Fi connection. More importantly, a high-speed Wi-Fi connection, because of the amount of bandwidth and data that it's going to need in order to effectuate that. And I don't just mean from the Disney Parks app, but the Play Disney app. So if you haven't tried it as yet, there's obviously a new a Play Disney app, which is here, which is very much, I believe, in its infancy in terms of rolling out personalized interactive experiences to guests. I'm going to wait for the whole thing to load. I think this is very much going to be an important part of your, not vacation planning experience, but your in-park vacation experience, which is exactly what it is supposed to be and do, not just in terms of playing trivia, listening to music, but personalizing your experience. There are some things that I believe are going to be rolled out internationally first and then be coming to the domestic parks, starting with Walt Disney World, that I'm telling you, it is going to be a groundbreaking change in the way we experience attractions, and then on a secondary, tertiary level, how we, not just how we navigate the parks, but our experiences in between riding attractions, which you should be spending, obviously, eating food, but if you're not, there's other things to do. There are some things that I think are coming, but they want us who are guests to not just be consumers, but creators as well. And Melanie Jones, you're right. If you don't have, one of these, if you don't have one of these or a few of these when you go to the parks, you're going to need them. And because there just aren't enough charging ports and stations. You could do the fuel rod, but at some point, especially with a lot of guests, those might not be available when you need it. So, and these, especially like these little thin ones here, are super, super light. They're very, very inexpensive. And so I always bring at least 2 with me. And like for all the stuff I was doing today, I think I took 1,200 pictures, something like that, in the few hours I was out today. So it'll be interesting to see. I actually almost want to go to French Quarter, and maybe if I get a chance next week, I will, because I want to test. I want to do a little load testing and speed testing to see just how different the speeds are. And I did see somebody, maybe it was Becky, sweet fancy Moses. I hope Disneyland follows suit, because oy vey, I think they're still using CompuServe dial-up to serve the guests that are going there. So, Becky, don't start with the Apple device, because at least I can send a text. But notwithstanding that, I think there's a lot of other stuff that is going on that we haven't talked about in terms of what's coming and things that are going away. Like if you have kids, my kid, and they're older now, but Disney Junior Live on Stage is literally down to its last few hours, because in what I expect to be probably just a few weeks, well, it's going to go away September 1st, and then the new Disney Junior Dance Party is going to come into that space with Mickey and the Roadster Racers, Doc McStuffin, Lion Guard, and Vampirina, who I am not very familiar with, which is going to be an interactive concert. There's going to be some new characters like Fin Fiesta and DJ Wicka Wicka Wah, Wicka 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 Wah. So after 17 years, and you don't realize how long it's been there, that is going away. Speaking of things that have gone away, Cirque du Soleil is coming. I'm really excited about some of the things that I'm hearing in terms of, to use their quote, celebrating Disney's legacy of storytelling and the characters and the stories that I think that are going to be intertwined into an experience that only Cirque du Soleil can do. Back over at the studios, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, which is going to take place in the Sunset Showcase facility, which really is just a giant black box. I'm very, very curious to see what that's going to be with Lightning McQueen and Cruz Ramirez and Mater demonstrating techniques on a new simulator. I wonder if it's going to be like Cars 3, where they're on these platforms and we see on those screens around us some of the testing maybe that they do. Because there's no ride. It's not really going to be a show. It's a relatively limited space. Amanda, I have to catch up on Vampirina. I love vampires, but I am not familiar with the character. While I was out driving today, this is not an indication of the park I went to. A lot of work has gone on in terms of the Skyliner, which won't be opened until probably early next year. But this is one of the things where I want to say more, but I can't. We are seeing what I think is just going to be phase 1 of the Skyliners, because I think Disney knows right away that this is not just going to be a conveyance for resort guests to get to and from their resort to the parks. This is going to be an attraction, an attractor, and again, knowing nothing official, I will bet dollars to donuts. It will be extended to places like Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, possibly the parks, Disney's Animal Kingdom, which will make the distance. If they have a Skyliner right to Sanaa, I would probably never leave. I would just go like in an endless loop, boathouse to Sanaa, boathouse to Sanaa. But I would bet, without question, they've got to bridge that gap. And there's obviously going to be construction going on of other resorts in between. So I would expect the Skyliner to be expanded. One of the things that I'm super excited about, because I love the place and I love Japan. I love to eat. So a new Japan restaurant, as yet unnamed, coming, I believe, next year. Obviously, Ratatouille, a new Mission Space restaurant, and obviously the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction. Probably the loss of Illuminations, some things coming to Epcot Center which have not been announced as yet, are going to very much change the makeup of that park, specifically Future World. Ciao, Maria Raboli. It's so nice to see you. Walt Disney World did something similar to the Skyliner. They had the Skyway bucket in between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland with that weird 90-degree turn. These are obviously very, very different. I mean, we're talking decades of difference in terms of technology, being able to operate in, the rain. Obviously, there'll be weather considerations. Of course. I don't know why there's a rumor going around that they're not going to be air conditioning. Like, they're not crazy. Disney is not crazy. It's still 99 degrees outside at the end of August. So they will be air conditioned. What else? We've got Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway coming next year. The Tron Light Cycle Power Run. And I think that is going to be the first of other changes to Tomorrowland. And obviously the big wampa in the room is Galaxy's Edge with the Falcon Ride, the Cantina Restaurant, the First Order Dark Ride attraction, and the very interesting Dinner Club restaurant as well. I think, and again, some of these things are not the complete announcements of what is to coming. Certainly with things like Galaxy's Edge, I don't know how much has been said about this, but I will tell you this, from what I understand. The merchandise that you are going to be able to purchase in Galaxy's Edge is going to be different than anything and any type of merchandise you can buy anywhere else. I want to help you connect the dots a little bit so you can understand what I'm talking about. This Black Spire outpost, on the edge of the Outer Rim, not the Contemporary Restaurant, but sort of the Outer Rim of the Star Wars galaxy. It is made up of tradespeople and artisans and lots of other characters. So the merchandise that you are going to be able to purchase is going to be uniquely crafted by some of those artisans. If you are planning to go, this is what I think. If you are planning to go to Galaxy's Edge and buy a TIE Fighter or a Funko Pop, you're not going to be able to. You'll be able to buy that other places throughout property, but that's not what you're going to be able to buy when you go to Black Spire Outpost. When you go to this world of Batuu, it is going to be a shopping and dining and almost theatrical experience unlike anything else, exponentially more so than what you'll find in places like Cars Land or Becky, even places that we saw overseas in terms of the immersion in the lands. This is going to be one of those things where we talked about in the past and even currently, walking through a portal, whether it's to Adventureland, to Main Street, you're saying, being transported somewhere else, right? You walk into Toy Story Land, you're shrunk down to the size of a toy. When you walk through that archway into Galaxy's Edge, it is going to be a land far, far away and a long time ago. And every aspect of your experience there, I believe, is going to reflect that. And again, the things that we're talking about, Galaxy's Edge, the restaurants, the Skyliner, Cirque du Soleil. So I believe, look, we're in the Maria Boli, your little Italian brains are going to fall out of your head. Like all the accents, your brains are going to fall out of your head. I wish I could. I want to tell you more, but I can't, and I won't. But I'm going to tell you, you are going to lose your collective mind. I think we all are going to, because, look, the investment that Disney is making in Galaxy's Edge needs to be something. It needs to blow away guest expectations, right? Cars Land exceeded expectations. Other things that they do exceed expectations. When you talk about something that is just so deeply rooted in not just pop culture, but our culture, like Star Wars, needs to be something unlike anything we have seen before. And I don't mean just in Walt Disney World or in other theme parks domestically, or what we have seen so far in the overseas parks, and what is coming there, and the technology that's coming there first, that's going to be brought into Galaxy's Edge. Maria, you're going to need a helmet and a funnel to keep all of your brains together, because of just, it's a game changer. And I don't use the word game changer. There's nothing that Disney has done in recently that is a game changer in terms of experiences. Is Pirates in Shanghai and a remarkable attraction? Absolutely. Is what we are going to see, I think, in Galaxy's Edge, and some of the new technology is going to roll out in the next 12 to 24 months. It's going to be a game changer in the theme park experience, and one that I know other parks will have to follow suit with. I am very curious to visit the IAAPA convention, which takes place every November here in Orlando, which is sort of the international attractions and theme park convention, where a lot of this new technology is rolled out. What is going to be coming to the Disney parks is not something off the shelf like you've seen elsewhere. Look, things like the Aqueduct and the Aquadunk are things that can be bought and sort of repurposed and redesigned for certain experiences. What Disney is working on from a technological perspective is something I have never heard of before. And if they're able to execute on it the way we think that they do, it's going to make, I can't even, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, Maria, so I'm sure combined of what we have heard and what we believe and what we want, and I think what we've come to expect from Disney as well. So if these are things in terms of some of the stuff that's coming, I would love to hear it. Steve Schussler, we love you. Steve Schussler, I love you, brother. It has been way too long since I've seen you. I know you usually fly in, fly out, but next time you know you're coming to town, we've got to get together. I'd love to buy you dinner at the Boathouse, or lunch at the Boathouse, a snack at the Boathouse. But I want to just meet you at the Boathouse. Unfortunately, our paths didn't cross last time you were here. Carrie Zaray, it was so good to see you and meet you and put a face to the voice. We've had a chance to chat on the phone in the past, and hope to see you again soon. I saw people talking about D23 Expo, which is obviously where, look, it's no coincidence that Disney no longer exhibits at Comic-Con. They are holding off their big announcements, not just from a studio's perspective, but from a theme park perspective, from a Marvel perspective, until D23 Expo. I wish I had my graphic up here, but I don't. But I do. There you go. So if you have not booked yet, I know you can contact our friends over at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, and they will help you book your room at Expo, because I think there are going to be some amazing things that are coming. So, Lori, it was nice to meet you and your husband Bill this past weekend. A lot of talk about the Boathouse. Steve, everybody knows that as soon as I talk about food, the conversation always goes back to Boathouse. So, Charlotte Barnes says, hello from Tokyo on your way to the parks. Charlotte, The Boathouse was so 8 seconds ago because I love, love, love Japan. I love Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. Of course, I have to mention one more time that I think, Becky, now we're down to just a couple of spots left for our Adventures by Disney to Japan next year. Save your pennies. Do it after you do. Sell a kidney. Sell a kid. Whatever you have to do, because this is going to be the trip of a lifetime. And the only thing that would make it better is if Steve Schussler was going with us, because he is like my favorite person on the planet. So, but yeah, if you have never been to D23 Expo, next year is the time to go. Sorcerer's Pass, yeah, Melanie, I heard the same thing. They went in 3 minutes. And if you don't know where Sorcerer's Pass is, Melanie, what was it, $1,500, $1,700 this year for the Sorcerer Pass? Again, a lot of those people I know want to go for the merchandise, whether it's for themselves or to sell, but you don't need that to have a great time. And Becky, I guess I can share. We just secured the WDW Radio / Mouse Fan Travel booth again, like a couple of days ago, hours ago, basically. And it's going to be $1,500. Maria Raboli, do what you got to do and come to Japan. Come for the food, stay for the food. So, Idris, I'm going to call you Idris. Shakur, like Tupac, says, we're new to the group. Just discovered the podcasting website. My 8-year-old daughter loves the podcast theme song. I laugh every time she sings your information station. Oh, my God. You have to have her call in to the voicemail, 407-900-9391, and have her sing the WDW Radio theme song. If she does, then send me an email, and I'll send you like my audio tours and books and stuff like that, because I love that. And I love the fact that you know that you are comfortable, because it's completely G-rated, family-friendly. You can listen with your 8-year-old and have no worries whatsoever, other than the fact that she'll just start asking about the Boathouse at 8, which is, oh my gosh, Andy Dorley. Talk about blasts from the past. Yikes. Andy Dorley from Villanova University. Dude, that was a long time ago in a galaxy far, 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 far away. So, and Stan, you're right. Disney doesn't need Comic-Con anymore because of Expo and Celebration. They have those two venues and platforms where they have complete autonomy and control over the time and the messaging and the space, without having to compete with everything else that goes on there. I still think next year I want to try and make it out finally to Comic-Con, for business purposes only. But Expo is far and away my favorite event to do. And we have lots of fun. And Becky and I don't kill each other anymore. We've worked through it's taken us 11 years. We've worked through issues. We don't kill each other. So it's a good time. And I'm not going to ever be crazy enough to schedule an ABD right before Expo, because I'm not a crazy person. I learn. It takes me a while, but I learn. So, anybody heard the Hoop-de-Doo is closing? I have not heard that at all. I think it would take a nuclear holocaust to make Hoop-de-Doo go away. That show has been around for a long, long time. If it's going to be tweaked, maybe that's one thing, but I have to come to Comic-Con. Do you mean New York? Really? You speak for a living, Mangello? New York Comic-Con. I've been to Celebration here. And Melanie Jones, it would be great if you are out there. Marie, we have to talk about Comic-Con, because I really want to do it, and I've never, ever been. So, Father George has never been to Hoop-de-Doo. That possibly is almost a sin. Father George, next time you come down here, we need to go to Hoop-de-Doo together. I think we need to do like a nation Hoop-de-Doo like event. I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick a date and put it on the calendar, and we're going to do like a nation, or maybe even nation box people Hoop-de-Doo thing. Kevin Harrington has been the Indian twice at Hoop-de-Doo. I've never been anything at the Hoop-de-Doo, which probably is a good thing, because nobody wants to see me up on that stage dressed in any sort of costumes at all. So, Maria, I don't even know when the New York Comic Con is, but I have to get up there. Stephen Conte, Yellowtail Sushi Guy. I'm late to the Marvel movies. What? But finally got around to Infinity War last night. I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. I'm sorry. Oh, I still cry. Tom Holland, take your Oscar home right now. We can do a group there. I do it all the time. See, why do you have to say you do it all the time? Why can't you make us feel special? Now it's just a pedestrian thing. Oh, I do it all the time. We need to do it to us? Amanda hasn't been. How has Amanda never been to the Hoop-de-Doo either? We have to get this done. We need to do a Hoop-de-Doo thingy. So, Andrew loves the desserts. Matt says, what do I expect the wait times to be for Star Wars Land? And do I think Pandora suffer? No, Pandora's not going to suffer. Pandora's going to win because it's going to thin the herd there a little bit. But I think in terms of wait times for Star Wars Land, if you're not online right now for the Millennium Falcon attraction, you're already too late. And the land isn't even finished yet. The line is going to be down I-4 to get into Hollywood Studios. And that's why so much of the infrastructure that they're upgrading at Walt Disney World is happening now, because what Star Wars Land is going to do is what no other land, including Pandora, has ever been able to do, which is attract a brand new demographic. Non-Disney fans who are Star Wars enthusiasts are circling on their calendar because they are going to come to a Disney park for the very first time. Whether it's Disneyland or Walt Disney World, the Star Wars geeks and nerds and aficionados and enthusiasts and whatever who have never been into Disney and probably said they would never set foot in a Disney park are going to line up for Star Wars, and they're not going to leave. And you think that they're not going to pay whatever that premium is going to be for the Star Wars resort? You got another thing coming. That resort, I predict, will be booked from day 1 to day 365. No sweat. No sweat. I don't care what the price point's going to be, because there are going to be people who are going to be willing and saving up already to pay for it. So, Nikki Claros, nice to see you as well. First weekend in October is like a month away, and I have momentum that weekend. Ron Schneider, I know that guy. He was the Dream Finder. Heather's never been before. Yeah, a lot of people I see a lot of people want to do Hoop-de-Doo and Star Wars Land. Gosh, how many of you guys have not done Hoop-de-Doo? Jeez Louise. All right, we have to make this happen. So, yes, you get in line, not online. Online is the thing you do on the internet. Let me catch up. A lot of things. Shannon's never been to Hoop-de-Doo. Maria's going to camp there the night before. That's cute, because you think the night before is actually going to get you into Star Wars Land. Look, Maria, people camped out for Star Wars weekends just to meet, the third Rebel pilot in Episode 1. Could you imagine what it's going to be like? It's going to be like Disneyland opening. It is. It's going to be that big. I cannot imagine what forget the first few days. I mean, look how long Pandora's been open. And the fact that the lines and the waits and the rush and that herd of cattle, still to this day, could you imagine what Star Wars Land's going to be like? And the people coming in from the resort. I just want to sort of fly a drone. I don't want to go there. I want to sort of fly a drone over Hollywood Boulevard just to watch that mass of humanity like ants making their way back to Galaxy's Edge. They're going to need a bigger parking lot. So, Beatrice Dennis finally has been to Hoop-de-Doo last year on Father's Day. Eric's never been to Hoop-de-Doo. I can't believe how many people haven't been to Hoop-de-Doo. Stan Solo, call me crazy. I'm thinking about going for opening day. Stan, obviously you're not alone, man. I mean, being there on opening day is going to be one of those things that people can say that I was there, right? We talk about I was there for Toy Story Land. I was there for Pandora. Saying it for one of those and saying it for Galaxy's Edge is going to be a whole different ball of wax. So, Am I heading to Disney for Star Wars opening? Possibly. Scott went to Trails End last night. It was the best. He wouldn't even eat there. He just went to go stalk. Just sort of stalk in the bushes. So, Michael Bolger's 8 days from your next trip. It's a surprise for your son. That's awesome. Can't imagine, especially the lines. I can't imagine the lines, especially the lines at the Indy. Dude, Amber, the lines at the Indy Disney meet were crazy. More security entrances. Michael Wilk, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, the one thing that we as guests, I think, sometimes don't think about is the logistics of building and opening a park like this. Even a land, whether it's a park or a land, it's overwhelming. It is overwhelming. Lauren Jones, anybody want to bet on the over-under is going to be locked on opening day? I mean, look, I wonder how they are going to, because what's going to what's going to have to happen, although the land itself is massive, I wonder if they will limit the number of people that can actually enter the land, just so it's not just wall-to-wall people, because you want to make it the kind of experience that it is on paper, right? That you're walking in this outer rim type territory. You're interacting with traders and aliens and robots and the First Order and everything else that's going to be there. It's going to be really hard to do if it's wall-to-wall people. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And Becky says there has to be internal teams working on limits, ticket options. Yeah, there are going to be some changes that are coming in terms of I want to say this appropriately. Ticketing is going to change a little bit between now and then, in a lot of different ways. Not just in terms of cost and things like that, but ticketing options at Walt Disney World. I would hold up a Magic Band if I have one, but what your Magic Band is and is going to be able to do is going to change. It's very, very much. Your phone and your Magic Band are going to be an integral part of your Galaxy's Edge experience. It is what the infrastructure that they're building in terms of Wi-Fi and cellular towers here, and the investment financially in both of those is because they are going to need it in order to be able to deliver the kind of experience that there's a certain backbone, a certain skeleton that needs to be in place. So, but I'm excited. I'm crazy excited to see it because I think that's what every 7-year-old kid that watched, A New Hope or the newer generation that grew up on the not so awesome second trilogy. This is what we've been waiting for, is to walk into the movie that we pretended to be in as kids. So, all right, let's see. It's 8:30 already. Jeez Louise, time goes fast with you guys. So what do you say if I do this? You want me to take a couple of calls? Do you want me to, what else do we have to go over? Oh, I know what I want to share with you before I can share it with anybody else. Hold on. Where is... So I talked to you guys. Oh, I didn't even, I made up all these little graphics for the stuff that's coming, and I didn't show any of them, like the Disney Junior graphic. That's what it's going, the new Disney Junior show is going to look like. I'll see if I can, let me just make this bigger for you guys. Wrong way. That's what the Disney Junior dance party is going to look like. But I talked to my friends over at TeePublic, and just for you guys, they made up a code. If you go to TeePublic, if you go to wdwradio.com/shirts, I forgot to put the image on here. If you go to wdw.com/shirts, they have a special 30% off sale just for you guys before they even open up. Just use code WDWR30, not just on WDW Radio shirts, but there are a ton of Star Wars shirts, Disney shirts, Marvel shirts, like a million things off. Again, use that code WDWR30 and go to www.radio.com/shirts. And now I can't find out how to get rid of the logo. There we go. Let's see. Anywhere in the opening of the Disney Junior show. They haven't given an exact date. Again, the final performance of Live on Stage is September 1st. I think it's going to be a relatively quick turnaround. I bet you before the end of the year, before the holiday season start, I would expect, but they haven't. So, Mongello Nation shirts. Kelly, nice to see you as well. Let me catch up. Becky, we might be able to chat tomorrow, but I have a media event tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm going to be back, but we'll keep in touch. You know, the woman travels around the world. She's on cruises and planes and helicopters and boats and bathyscaphs. And now it's like, chop, chop, Mongello. Yes, Your Majesty. Where's the puppet? Oh, gosh, the puppet's all the way back there. Yeah, so Rob, the TeePublic quality of the shirts is awesome. So much better than things like Cafe Press or Zazzle and things like that. So the beauty of Disney is that they keep adding new attractions